Well, maybe, a combination of we had some good looks, but obviously that we were out of rhythm or whatever. So, uh, you know, combination of that and combination of I got to do a better job of finding some rhythm against that zone or finding them some different ways to attack it, etc. Thought we got it into the rim, and I thought we had good looks for the most part, but those weren't going and consistently enough. So we'll have to take a look at it and see what else we can conjure up.
Well, I mean, when I looked at the strategy, you put a guy at the nail, you swung it, you went inside out. Like I said before, is it just a matter of, I mean, how much better looks could you get from what you were doing? I know they didn't go down, but were you okay with those looks?
I mean, usually, Jonesy, after a game, you sit there and you say, well, how did it feel? Did they feel like they were good shots? And you say to yourself, yeah, for the most part, you got, and then you go back and say, well, that one wasn't that good. There's a handful or so you can think of that you wish you would have done something maybe different and looked for something more, or you turned down an open one and ended up with a not open one or something like that. There's 8 or 10 of those every time. But again, I say the same thing. It felt to me like we were finding some things in the high post, underneath the basket, kickouts. But we couldn't string any together, and then I think we got a little bit discouraged with kind of that part of it. So and I was trying to run some other things, run some of our man plays, and we'd score a basket or two out of those two. And again, combination probably had a good enough looks, right? Probably needed to give them something else to run. But I hate it. I think we wasted a hell of an effort. Right, I think we tried really, really hard, and we were into the game, and we executed really well defensively for the most part.
Right. I mean,
sorry, go ahead, Paul.
I was going to say, how difficult is it to change the pace when the game's going like that too? Because you weren't able to press, you can't do any of that. If
we could have done that, I didn't. For my first thought is we didn't play fast enough to try to get down against the zone and score before it was set or whatever. We didn't drive it probably enough from the perimeter. You got to punch through some of those gaps and stuff. But again, going back, I have to look at the film, but I just think that we did do a pretty good job of dissecting it and getting it to where it needed to go. We just needed a few of those at the rim to go, a few of those 6-8 footers that we got to with clearance to go, and then certainly some more of the threes to go.
I mean, you've used your share of zone yourself this year. Is its primary value, other than being a rhythm stopper, and it's related, I guess, just that it asks different guys to handle the ball in different spots? Like it's a lot of OG and Serge at the nail, which is not usually where they're making plays, right?
Yeah, I think that's a good answer to your question, right? It changes your normal rhythm. No, normal rhythm of your look. Again, I usually think that Fred and Kyle, for example, have to work a lot harder than that to get those kind of three balls, that number, and that good a ones. So, you think, geez, we take that all day, and I think, we don't make them. It allows them to stay into them. If we could have just hit a couple in a row or something, 2 or 3 in a row, that zone it hurts it pretty quickly, and that's usually the best remedy for it is to make some shots.
From the good news department, your heart had to feel good seeing Kyle at least come out after he walked off there. You must have been in your throat for a while there.
Yeah. Every time there's a knock or somebody goes back to the locker room. Pat McCall went back the other night, and I was like, here we go. We're gonna lose him too. But I think Kyle got a little shoe issue or something, and so he was back. That was fine. But yep, we need the guys we got out there, that's for sure, and we need some of the other guys to come back soon.
You kept McCaw in the starting lineup. I assume there was thought of starting OG and Rondé together. So why did you opt for what you opted for?
I don't know. I guess I thought there was a good opportunity for him to play with the ball and get those guys off the ball, but not much. I kind of played those guys together anyway a lot and ended up playing them in the guts of the game a lot. So it was probably not that big a deal tonight. Yep.